Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the inaugural edition of the Schmear on the Shore podcast. Brought to you by the Ohio Guys Productions, powered by RealNerdCorp.com, live on twitch.tv/Comic and GameCorp. If you didn't already know, I am your host for this evening. I am the Crown Vic of podcasting. I'm reliable, I am decent looking, and I am
Adam Baldwin's favorite car.
Adam Baldwin's favorite car. That's right. I'm Adam Baldwin's favorite. My name's Alex Swisher. My name's Alex Swisher. Joining me, as always, my trusty co-host. Some know him as Dr. McTalk, but I call him Chad Porto.
You just insulted his goat.
You just insulted his goat.
That might be the most racially insensitive joke on Psych, but I love it. It's so good.
Season 1, baby. We're still in season 1.
That was the one where they went to the vets because they were sneaking in. That's or the zoo. And then the lady's like, we have like a meerkat or like a lion who's about to give birth. Dr. Mick, would you like to help out? And then Sean goes, yes, you would. I don't remember if this is like the right scene, but I'm pretty sure the very next scene was Gus doing his as he's running away because he just touched something nasty. I think that's how that bit ended, but I could be wrong because that bit happened so many times where Gus had to do something gross. By the by, we should be doing Lassie Comes Home or Lassie Go Home or whatever it is. That was good.
Yeah, we should do one on that.
Well, we're eventually going to get to Psych anyway.
I know. Psych
that's going to be a beefy boy.
That's 9 seasons?
8? 9? Is it 9 seasons?
8 or 9.
Plus 2 movies?
Plus 2 movies, yeah.
That's a beefy
there
boy.
are 8 seasons. Plus
8 seasons and 2 movies.
And 2 movies.
In between the lines is the line.
Oh my God.
What?
I was just looking at the nicknames, and apparently there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nicknames alone for Lassie Come Home.
Yep.
Do you know what one of those names are?
Yep.
Do you know what I'm about to say?
I think so, and I think it was one of the first 3 used. Because the gimmick was that Sean was going to go with a name, and Gus like, I should have the right to pick my own name. He's like, Gus, we've been doing this for 10 years. You can't just change up the bit now. So he's like, the best I can do is right to refusal. And Gus like, I'll take it. And then Sean goes through 2, and I think the second one is the one you're about to say.
Calls him Big Papa Pump.
That was on the second round of bits later on in the movie. I do remember that.
Holla, if you hear me.
That's solid.
Big Papa Pump's got the hookup.
His Shoney's is closing.
I'm so mad about that.
But he's going to open a sports bar instead.
I know.
I want it to be called Chain Mails and Chain Mail.
Dude, I was listening to a wrestling podcast that was reviewing it was the January 2003 episode of Raw, where it was the pose down between Big Papa Pump and Triple H.
3 greatest Raw moments. Stone Cold gets crucified. Hornswoggle's the anonymous GM. Scott Steiner went to pose down.
Dude,
This is terrible segment.
Dude, he's so fucking...
He's yoked. He's so yoked.
Can we talk about how... Speaking of yoked, can we talk about how yoked 2001 to 2003 Kane was?
97 to 2003 Kane?
I mean, yeah, but you couldn't
so
tell.
Gassed.
Dude, you couldn't tell anywhere up until he took all the sleeves off.
Well, yeah, it was his left arm that gave you the idea that dude was jacked to shit.
Yeah, but when he switched over to the black mask with the red, and then he switched to like the black
singlet,
the black singlet with the fire on it.
That's when you knew.
Ooh, dude, he was fucking jacked. And for the longest time, I thought that I liked the open mouth mask more than I liked the full mask. I think I like the full mask.
Yeah, I like the
better.
slit mask more.
But the one I'm talking about, the black with the red on it instead of the red with the black.
I think they're both good. I like them both.
They're both good.
I think the black on the red, or the red on the black, with the black being on the top, which is the one you're talking about. I think that one only worked so well because we had gotten 3.5 years of the red on top.
Yeah.
Like that was slick, or reverse it, but you know what I mean, the original.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Do you remember the night he debuted in that black on red?
No.
It was the night the Rascals were beating up The Rock and Mick Foley with Triple H and DX.
Oh, do you mean were they called the Radicals?
Radicals, sorry. Oh, that was awful. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I knew exactly who you were talking about. I didn't I was like the Rask. I went the Rask. Oh, Benoit, Malenko, Guerrero, and Saturn, the Radicals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fun fact:
they were
Conan and Shane Douglas were supposed to be part of that group.
Jesus.
Yeah, WCW wouldn't release them from their contracts though.
Yeah. No, I don't remember that, but I do remember when he debuted Slow Chemical. That's his best theme, hands down.
When was that?
That was 01. He came out and he had a match against X-Pac. Was it 01? Or
I think it was
02 maybe. It was 02. He had a match against X-Pac, and X-Pac was a part of the NWO at the time.
Yeah, that was 02.
Yeah,
I love that song was written for the Punisher soundtrack, but it just started to go everywhere before it ever landed on the Punisher soundtrack.
Dude, it worked so well with Kane. The wonder of the world is gone. I've come to... dude, it's so good.
I still like that Harry Hex song better. I can see what you're thinking. All your thoughts and fears. When you look in my eyes, in time you'll find the reason I'm here.
We'll have to watch all the Punisher stuff.
You mean the only Punisher stuff that matters? The Thomas Jane one? Yes, we should.
Thomas Jane. Hey.
I wrote that for your funeral. I wrote that for you. I'm going to play it at your funeral.
I'm going to play it at your funeral. What was that tweet that Marcus sent to you?
It had something to do with what's your favorite Punisher? And he's like, we all know which one ours is, and it was Thomas Jane.
Yeah,
something to that effect.
But I think
I responded with a quote about how it was the line from early in the movie where he's like, Frank, I know you're upset. Upset. I used to get upset when I was in traffic. I used to get upset when the Yankees won the pennant. I used to get upset when something happened. So if that's what upset is, what am I feeling now? Tell me. Because I don't know. And I'm just like, oh. The worst part is, though, there were scenes cut from the theatrical release that gave that scene even deeper context, because it turns out that the only reason they knew where Frank Castle was in the first place was because that cop, his sergeant, ratted him out. And he knew that cop was in on it during that scene, but that was all cut from the movie. So I'm like, oh, that would have been... Because he eventually, captures him outside the beach, outside the beach, goddamn, outside the police station on the beach, because they're in Miami or Tampa, and he's like, I know you did it. I know you ratted me out. Don't leave things on the cutting room floor. They're all important, especially when it comes to the Punisher.
Dude, so good. Everything about that particular scene reminds me of one thing, because my dumb brain has to connect everything back to wrestling. So when he starts talking, you know exactly what I'm gonna say.
No. I'm of the mindset that when you bring up a year, my brain goes to wrestling. So tell me a year that you've been alive.
That I've been alive?
Yes.
2004.
TNA finally lands on television. Raw goes to shit when Randy Orton wins the world title and then engages into a 40,000-month feud with Triple H. And JBL is the champion of SmackDown, doing the most racist and amazing promos of all time.
Yeah, his border promo.
Yeah, It's real good. And then he was doing his Japanese Godzilla fight scene promo.
Oh yeah,
really good.
No, but that scene from the Thomas Jane Punisher where he's talking about being upset and he's like, "This isn't upset." It reminds me every single time of just frustrated isn't the goddamn word for it.
Kurt Angle?
No, that's Bret Hart.
Oh, okay. You went old school on me.
Yeah,
was that the night he pushed Vince down?
Yeah, because he goes, well, Bret, because I believe he lost the belt to Austin.
No,
I think
because Bret wasn't there when Austin won the title. It was they were taking down a cage because one of the cage walls was still up when he pushed him.
Oh yeah, what match was that? I don't remember, but he pushes Vince. He goes, well, Bret, troublesome loss there. You must be feeling frustrated. And he goes, frustrated isn't the goddamn word for it.
Bret, language. So we're 12 minutes into this Blue Crush review, and we haven't talked about Blue Crush.
Yeah. So we're so let's backstory on the name and what we're doing with this podcast. So this is the Schmear on the Shore podcast. Basically, summer movies, lots of which are going to take place at the beach. And lots of which are going to take place during the heat of summer. It's August. We're still technically in the heat of summer. I believe, what is it? Autumn kicks in midway through September.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still in the heat of summer. We're going to be doing a bunch of summer movies. We're starting off with a doozy. It's something. The 2002 film, I don't want to say hit.
It made more money than it took to make.
Yes. So it let's see here. Grossed $14.2 million and placed third in its opening weekend. Grossed $40.4 million in the US and a total of $51.8 million worldwide. Its estimated budget was $25 million. Blue Crush, starring Kate Bosworth and Michelle Rodriguez as your big two lead actresses, and then Matthew Davis of Vampire Diaries fame. He was also at the time known for Legally Blonde. He was the dickhead ex-boyfriend in Legally Blonde. He was also in Pearl Harbor as a bit part. So up to this point. So yeah.
Do you know there's a Blue Crush 2?
I do. I have not seen it.
I think we know what one of our movies is going to be.
Oh, no.
Sasha Jackson, Elizabeth Mathis, Ben Milliken, Chris Fisher, Gideon Emery, Rosie Hodge, Roger Volston, and Sharni Vinson.
Do we have to?
We might. It got generally negative reviews. Oh, we might.
Oh, fuck. Oh. I might be able to find some betterly worse movies.
Wait. This chick that's in it might be from Scrubs.
Which chick?
The lead chick. Oh, even
Sasha
better.
Jackson?
She's from One Tree Hill.
Sasha Jackson?
Yep.
Jackson?
She played Kylie Frost.
Kylie in season 7 and also in season 9. I don't remember Kylie.
I want to say she was the model?
You might be right.
Oh,
yeah.
no. She was the actress who appeared opposite Nathan in an ad for Rainstorm Body Spray. And then she goes to visit Clay's house. Yes. And then she goes to audition for Mouth's replacement for the morning show with Millicent.
That's right. Okay.
So we might have to do this movie.
Fuck. Unfortunately, it does tie into One Tree Hill, and anything that ties into One Tree Hill.
I was about to say, there's three things that tie into anything that we must do, and it's the OC, it's the One Tree Hill, or it's Scrubs.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, that's the only reason I've ever watched Red State was because the chick that was the star of Scrubs Med School was in it.
Ah, okay.
She loved her horsies, and then fucking Franco cuts them open to sew them back up. What I'm practicing. Oh, Dave
fucking
Franco,
which
you're a gem.
I can't remember. What's that? I know he's the younger Franco brother. I can't remember his fucking name.
Dave Franco.
Is it Dave?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, James is the other one. God, Dave and James. Thanks.
Dave is so
Franco
much better
family.
too. He just is. He just is. Oh, I love him.
Oh God, he's so.
He can play anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, jazz makes babies gay.
Future doctors.
Some of the shit that he says.
God damn.
Oh my God. If I ever had the money to be able to start my own TV show, my 2 lead actors would be Michael Mosley and Dave Franco.
That's not a bad idea. I would support that.
Oh my God. So yeah, we might have to do Blue Crush too, but for now we're talking about Blue Crush. So this movie takes place in Hawaii. I don't think it's they're on the North Shore.
Mm-hmm.
The North Shore is on the island of Oahu, which is the north-facing coastal area of Oahu between Kaena Point and Kahuku. Thank you, Wikipedia. Anyways, the story focuses around Anne Marie Chadwick, played by Kate Bosworth, and her 14-year-old sister Penny, and her friends Eden, played by Michelle Rodriguez, and Lena, played by Sanoa Lake. Sanua Lake?
Sanwa Lake? I'm not sure.
She's an actress.
She's pretty. I like her. She got a pretty smile.
Yeah. 100%.
They don't do here's the thing. They don't do her any justice in this movie because every shot that's anywhere close to her face, she's getting up in her hands in her face and her lips are all kind of underneath her hand because she just woke up, or she's forced to do all these gross outlook, and it's man, whoever filmed this movie did not like her because she gets no opportunity.
First off, the camera work. Anything to do with actors, the camera work in this movie sucks. Anything to do with shots of the ocean, anything to do with action shots of the waves, fucking fantastic. I don't understand how they can be so completely juxtaposed to one another.
So let me explain the opening sequence because I have this fucking primed. So we open up and we're seeing flashbacks and basically, spoiler alert, Anna Marie is reliving a traumatic moment where she fucked up while surfing and nearly killed herself. It's literally given no play unless it's absolutely needed during the script. It's such a badly written movie. But during the entire thing, the only thing I could think of was going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Did Swisher give me the wrong movie and I'm watching Predator 3 at the beach? And I was very excited. Because everything was in that neon Technicolor heat kind of vision bullshit. And I was so very excited that I was going to hear the Predator click and then see a shimmery object in the water as he goes back to his surfboard. Which, by the by, would be the greatest Predator movie of all time. He starts roasting tourists because they're taking his choice waves.
Yeah.
He's already got the braids. He'd fit right in. He's just sitting there chilling on the beach, clicking away.
Jesus.
Would have been such a better movie.
You're not wrong.
This is based on the Maui Surfer Girls of 1998 Women Outside article by Susan Orlean. And it's so hammy. So they go in 2 very distinct different directions. On the dialogue side, it's girl power this, girl power that. The kind of girl I like doesn't need to ask a man for advice. Literally one of the lines. But then everything you see is tits, ass, tits, ass, tits, ass. Who was this movie for?
100%.
Was it made for the 14-year-old girl that the dialogue is for? Or was it made for the 14-year-old boy that the tits and ass shots were for? I don't know. And also, why was the director so keen on getting the grossest shots of toilets?
Dude, the opening like the opening 30 minutes of this movie is just fucking impossible to watch.
It's bad. It's not just bad. It's words.
It's fucking gross, dude. It sucks. Cause Anne-Marie, Eden, and Lena all work as maids in a luxury resort.
Yeah.
And currently, what is it? Is it the
NFL
the Pro Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl is in town, so they're having to clean up after all these disgusting football players.
To be fair, one disgusting football player. And it's the one that you would obviously guess if you saw the lineup because it's the only one who ever plays football players.
Yeah, it's a large offensive lineman. His name is Leslie.
And well, he was in Faison Love was in The Replacements.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So like as soon as you see his name, you're like, oh, he's gonna be the problem.
Yes, of course.
Because he's always the fucking problem.
So like the first 20 to 30 minutes of this movie is just shots of disgusting toilets. There's hotel floors with vomit all over him. Lena at one point steps on a used condom. Like, it's just fucking gross, dude. It sucks.
Yeah, but like that one I thought was the most overblown because it's on her shoe.
It's on her non-slip maid shoe that she has to wear as part of her uniform.
All she has to do is take the shoe off.
Yeah, I know.
It's not on her arm or like on her face. You know, it's just like perspective.
Yeah.
That's all. Just perspective. So the opening sequence that really kind of just so like they all wake up and the first thing already is they're talking surfer jive, surfer lingo. Yeah. They're like the swells are going peak at the apex of the what? What are those words? Because in the sentence you use, they don't make any sense.
Dude, also in the first 10 minutes of the movie, not even kidding, the terms that are used to surf that were definitely used, like for sure used back in 2002, don't hold the same context in 2020 because language evolves and words get used for different things. So in the first 10 minutes, one of the male surfers is talking to Anne-Marie and the girls. And the entire time, they're just going back and forth about, like, he's like, oh, you're a chick. You can't ride pipe. Like, and I'm like, oh, no. As soon as I said, I was watching this with my girlfriend, and as soon as we heard that, I was like, no.
Well, to be fair, she did prove she could ride pipe.
And Eden and Lena, Michelle Rodriguez and Sonoma Lake are sitting there going, go show those assholes that you can ride pipe just as well as they can. And I'm just going, no. No. And every time they would say like ride pipe or hit pipe or anything, I'm like, that doesn't mean what it meant.
Oh,
and I'm just laughing this entire movie. Oh God.
So
yeah.
We get to that point, and they're surfing and then they're dropping off the little sister to school. And then the principal says, your sister's been absent 8 times this month. One more time, we're going to have a problem. And she's like, I'm doing the best I can. And I'm just sitting there going, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
Like, even kind of. And the principal goes, well, maybe if you prioritize your sister over surfing, you know, she'd be on time. And she responds with, but I'm doing the best I can. And I'm just like, oh, so this is a movie about you being big, stupid, dumb. And I'm supposed to feel bad that you make bad choices. No, I'm gonna be on whoever the antagonist sides of this movie is. Obviously,
unfortunately,
the antagonist side was
no
the waves.
Antagonist.
Well, I consider the waves the antagonist.
Oh, okay.
And I was very much on their side. Killer. Aw, she's lived. Damn it. So that already pissed me off. I was already mad, and then all of a sudden, like we do the hotel montage, and I don't know why, but there's only ever one song I think of when there's a montage. Do you want to take a shot?
I mean, whenever there's a montage, my brain goes to Rocky, so I know we're not in the right.
No,
we're not on the same wavelength.
I forget. God, I forget the name of the song right now. It's like Mr. Blue Skies.
Oh, fuck, is that Electric Light Orchestra?
No, I thought that was older than that.
It's
Oh
on
yeah,
the
no, you're right. I was thinking of that one band from Scrubs. Remember when like that whole commune showed up to play a song?
Oh yeah.
I think they're like Electric Light Orchestra. But yes, you're right. It's Electric Light Orchestra. Sorry.
Yeah, because that song is on the Guardians soundtrack. Guardians 2, I think.
Before Guardians abused that song was like everyone's fucking opening movie montage song. So like every time
yeah.
I see a montage, I think of that song, and
You
like
know what
that would have worked so well for this.
You know what other song I think of when I think of montages?
What?
Jane by Jefferson Starship. If you hear it, you're immediately gonna go, "Oh yeah!"
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, because
Sorry, the band I thought you meant was the Polyphonic Spree.
no, I don't know who the fuck that is.
No, they were the band that showed up in Scrubs and sang. And there's like 40 of them, and the guy's like in his hospital bed, just like hitting his tambourine. And then the blonde surgeon asks Cox for a drink, or to go on a drink. Right. And then he sits down with Jordan. She got blonde hair, and he's like, "Did you do that for me?" And she goes, "Yeah. Now there's 2 blondes you can't sleep with." But Cox had the greatest comeback. I don't care.
I don't care.
Oh, but he said with a smile, so like he did, but he didn't. So we flash forward because like it's just like it's literally just this big dumb thing. Anna Marie comes home one night and sees that Penny's not home, so she goes out and sees that she's at this party. She's 14, and all these dudes are like in their 20s, and Penny's like, "No, mom left because of you, and I'm gonna sit here with this 19-year-old dude." I'm just like. Even in Germany, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. And age of consent's like 14. Like, who wrote this movie?
It's not good at all. Like, as soon as I got to that thing, I was like, I turned to my girlfriend and I was like, yeah, if I was at all in this movie, in this fictional universe as a character, my ass would be over there trying to fight every single one of those guys.
So speaking of who wrote this movie, her name is Lizzie Weiss of Vice. It's WEISS, so I think that's Vice, Lizzie Weiss. She graduated from Duke. She had a major in women's studies. And I guarantee you she was as sheltered and protected as possible. Because to write this movie directed at girls and to have a sequence where 20-year-old dudes are cool with whatever depravity they're going to do to a 14-year-old is one of the most... I don't even have... I have a lexicon that's pretty goddamn deep, and I don't have the words to describe how cringy that is. Like, this is gross.
Yeah.
To be fair, she also wrote a bunch of the Undressed series for the MTV, which was their let's have really bad sex scenes on cable TV and talk about like dumb sex things that don't actually happen in real life. Like a girl basketball player having sex right before a game to almost an orgasm so her adrenaline levels are higher. That never happens. That was written by someone who thinks it happens. Like, no, it does not happen. So clearly, whoever wrote this movie has no actual idea how people interact at 14 or 22. I'm not surprised. Because this movie fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's real bad.
It's not good. So, her last day at work, because she gets fired, because of course she would get fired. I would fire her. This was dumb. And I actually like how the best person in this entire movie is the boss. So they clean up Love Faison's room, and it's just this mess. There's condoms everywhere. Like, you know, people miss the toilet. It's bad. So she takes the condom and walks outside and shames the dude in public. Fair enough. Like, I don't really have a problem with that. Like, you do you. But like, also understand that your actions have consequences. So the lady rightfully fires her because, like, you caused a giant scene and embarrassed one of our high-paying customers with a lucrative deal that keeps not just this hotel, but this entire part of the island afloat, you're risking thousands of jobs by being an uppity bitch. You're fired. Yep. And then her friend's like, well, we quit too. And she's like, all right. And she goes, please don't fire them. And the boss turns around and goes, I didn't. They quit. So don't even think about trying to collect unemployment. And she just struts away. I'm just like, that lady rules. She just smacked down 3 people who were trying to be a lot bigger for their britches than they really need to be. I just thought it was hilarious. 100%. Oh, I loved it. You're bad at your jobs and you got checked. Because there's actually one scene where they're actively snooping through someone's clothes and putting them on. Like, you're not the good guys in this scenario. You are bad employees. They're bad.
Yeah, they just suck. Like, this is supposed to be like an underdog story, come from behind, like me against everything, the main character against the world, trying to prove that they have what it takes. And like, you're just giving us no motivation to like the main character.
Nope. Go on.
I mean, literally the most empathy that they try to give you for Anne Marie is that her mom ran away with her boyfriend to Vegas, leaving her to look after her 14-year-old kid.
To be fair, it was Anna Marie's 14-year-old sister.
Yes, I'm sorry, I fucked up on that part, but yes.
You meant the 14-year-old was the mom's kid, which you are correct. It's just this Anna Marie's not the mom; she's the sister. That's all. You're good.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things where it's like, dude, they gave you a fucking softball of a story. Like, how do you not knock this out? And then you're just like, yeah, well, she has no motivation. She's afraid of surfing big waves, rightfully so, because she hit her head and almost died. But like, that was like a
3 years.
A fluke accident, really. It's been 3 years. Yeah, like if you've been surfing every day to try and make a comeback, it's been 3 years. Like, you should be okay with trying to take on big waves by now. But then it's like, outside of that, you have no motivation. You're not a good sister. You're not even really a good friend. You know, like you waste all your fucking money. What is going on here?
I think the sad thing is this movie came out either right before or right after Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't seem like it would be a 1-to-1 comparison right off the bat, but it actually is pretty evenly. Both movies came out after. Lilo and Stitch came out in June. Blue Crush came out in July. Both movies feature an older adult sister, Nani and Anna Marie, who are working dead on jobs to try to support their little sister. The difference is, while both sisters do have an affinity for swimming and handsome boys that can get them in trouble, although David's not so much getting her in trouble so much as he's just giant and dorky and sets himself on fire. I love David. He's great.
David's great.
The difference, though, is that Anna Marie is constantly the reason why she's having her own problems. She backtalks to people she works for. She's... I don't know if her money spending is the issue, because it kind of seems like they don't have a lot of money. Because, like, the dress and shoes were a gift from the boyfriend. Not money that she... And she even gave them money for rent and all that from what she earned from the boyfriend. That sounds so slutty. Holy shit. It's not nearly as bad. But she's the one constantly in her own way. She's the reason why her sister's late for school. She doesn't check her sister's homework. She lets her sister out, when she's out sleeping overnight with some random dude she just met. But Nani is only ever getting fired because Lilo is constantly in trouble everywhere she goes. So she can't be at school because she gets kicked out. She can't be at Nani's job because it's not a place for kids. So Nani gets in trouble for having her sister there so she can keep an eye on her. And she does a great job keeping her sister alive. And Marie, not so much. Like, could you imagine, like, be a parent. I don't care if my 14-year-old daughter refuses to leave a party and I'm surrounded by 100 people who want to kill me. I'll either die or kill everyone in that room to get my 14-year-old girl out there. I'll call the cops. I'll let them arrest my 14-year-old. I'll be like, she's doing drugs. Arrest her. Because I'd rather her be in jail than dead. But Anne Marie can't be had with it because she needs to go get laid by her multi-million-dollar quarterback dick.
Well, that situation takes place even before she meets the fucking
True.
quarterback.
True. So
Like,
there's even less of a reason. She just sucks at her
there's less of
job.
a reason. Yeah, she literally straight up, her sister just yells at her and goes, you can't sit here and say that you weren't doing this when you were 14. What kind of stuff were you Eden and Lena getting into when you were 14? And I was like, oh damn, she's got a point that doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter what I was doing at 14. I'm a fuck up. Like that's my biggest thing is like, people. This is especially one thing that people could say to me. It's like, well, when you were 14, you were doing this. Yeah, when I was 14, I was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But hindsight is 2020. Like, the reason why you become, with age comes wisdom, as the saying goes, is because you learn. Wisdom in your teens would make life a lot less fun, for sure. But you would also be smarter and know not to make dumb decisions. Like, so when a kid looks at you and goes, well, when you were 14, it's like, yeah, when I was 14, it was fucking, I'm 24 now, so that was 10 years ago. That was fucking 2010.
Fuck.
Like, the world was completely different.
When I was 14, it was 2001. 2001.
Yeah. The world was, so when this fight, you were 14 alongside Penny.
I was. Actually, we're the same age. Holy shit, that's right. That's too fucking funny. That's too fucking funny. It's one of those things where, instead of being an adult, she just kind of cops out and leaves. And like the thing that really pisses me off is, so he wanted to call her Letty because that's what she was called in
Letty. Yeah.
So Letty and Lena. I'm just gonna roll with it. She they're good friends. Lena really doesn't have any story.
Nope.
She kind of takes Penny to school sometimes and helps her with her homework, and I don't know, like, that's really it. And then that's it. And like, I think Aiden might be a lesbian because she seems really invested in Anne-Marie's life for no reason. Like, really invested to an unhealthy degree, almost like she's jealous.
Yeah, it really makes no sense because, like, they decided that they wanted to do nothing. Like, they were like, we're gonna do as little as possible with these two best friends, except make Eden kind of a bitch about
everything
about Anne-Marie's life. Yeah, like, we're gonna have her try and run Anne-Marie's life. I hate that because all throughout this movie, as Anne-Marie is making piss poor decisions, they try and make Eden the voice of reason, but she really just comes off as a bitch because she's sitting there going, this is what you want. This is what you want, instead of saying, isn't this what you want? When you put, like, telling someone what they want is a surefire way for that person to just be like, well, maybe you just don't know what I want.
So add on the fact that this whole scene is Anne-Marie quitting, right? She's swimming away, so she's like, this is what you want, you need to do it. But she's also sprinkling in, you're leaving, you're quitting, and you're walking away. Sounds like someone else I know. Hinting at Anne-Marie's mom, who's in Vegas fucking her new boyfriend. And I'm just like, oh, friend or not, I drown your ass when you say that to me. Like, there's a line, lady, and you crossed it several times. I think thinking about like best friends in movies doing that scene, the best one, I'm sure you've seen it, is Warrior with Kurt Angle. Why is that the only name I know? It's that MMA movie.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So I forget the main character. He enters this tournament. He was like a mid card guy in the early days of MMA. He knows what he's doing, but he's never been all that great. And his house is up for foreclosure because their one daughter needed all these operations, and he's a good dad, so he's going to put himself to the brink of death to make sure that his daughter's fine. But, his wife's like, let's just sell the house, or like, let's just move, it's fine. We're together, and he's like, I'm not letting you or my girls lose this house. It's not going to happen. So he goes through this giant spiral of trying to find fights, whether they're in a parking lot or wherever to make money. He eventually makes this big tournament that he's so unqualified to be in, but he ends up winning like an entry bout to get in. And someone else gets hurt, so he gets as an alternate. And then he goes on to face Kurt Angle in like the third round, I think. and his wife's in the audience because like she doesn't like watching him fight, but you know this is huge, so she's there for him. And one of his good buddies is his corner man, and he's facing the greatest fighter in the world, Koba, played by Kurt Angle, and Koba's beating the shit out of him for 2 rounds. He's just like, he's bad. And at the end of the second round, the trainer puts his buddy on the stool and he goes, "Why are we here? Why are we here? Because if we're not here to win, tell me, and I'll throw in the towel. You can get your wife, and you can go home. But if you are here to save your house, then you need to know something. You have 5 minutes to submit this guy, or you're losing your house. So you tell me why we're here." And you know the guy's like, "I'm going to do this," and then he goes on and he somehow hooks Kurt Angle's ankle from literally behind his back, and he's it's the most ridiculous submission I've ever seen in a movie. But it was great, because he's like, you know, if you want out, let's go. We can go right now, you and me, no trouble. It was like that, like what do you want? And it was it's like one of the best scenes in that fucking movie. And that movie's so good. So like, there's a good way to do that scene, Warrior, and a bad way to do that scene, anything with Michelle Rodriguez screaming at people.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's not the first time she's done that scene in a movie, and I'm pretty sure they're all terrible.
Right. So when she goes out to embarrass
Faison Love.
Faison Love, yeah. She goes out to embarrass Faison Love. She catches the eye of Matt Tolman, played by Matthew Davis, National Football League quarterback. He's in Hawaii for the Pro Bowl with his team. I think in a later scene, it's kind of hinted that he's supposed to play for the Vikings.
Yeah, I read that on Wikipedia too, although I don't remember that scene.
No, when I was watching it, somebody refers to him as says something to him like there's not a whole lot of surfing in Minnesota or something like that.
Oh, okay. And him and Faison Love are teammates.
Yes. So he, for whatever reason, is instantly attracted to Kate Bosworth.
Well, I wouldn't say for whatever reason. She's not unattractive.
She's not unattractive, but she's not like, I don't know. Like now, if you like watch any kind of movie like this, like it's just like this person is way too awkwardly attractive to be a normal person. You know what I mean? Like that's just how movies work now. But like Kate Bosworth is like, yeah, Kate Bosworth's attractive, but like, I don't know. So it's just, it doesn't make any sense for this, like, until later in the movie when they kind of reveal it that like this dude is just like all over this maid. You know, he's a fucking Pro Bowl quarterback. But yeah, so he catches up with her and says that he wants to learn to surf. And there's like a scene. She says no, and then Eden and Lena convince her to take him up on his offer. So they chase him down, and there's this giant like car chase scene.
Oh, and they nearly die like 3 times. It's so unrealistic.
They nearly die like 3 times. Yeah. And they're like, how much? They're like 20 per hour. He's like 20, and they're like, is that too much? Is that too much? They like 15, and he goes, I'll pay you what the hotel charges, $150 an hour. They're like, holy shit. So yeah, they teach Leslie, Faison Love, and
a bunch of other
Matt,
teammates,
and a bunch of other teammates how to surf for $100 an hour. She goes back to Matt's hotel room later that night to pick up the money, and they kiss. Ooh, scandalous.
So let's before we go any further, let's talk about the real scandalous portion of this film that was just seemingly put in for no real fucking reason, and that's a grown man having to talk flirtatiously to a 14-year-old girl. Did anyone else pick up on that scene? I picked up on that scene.
What scene are you talking about?
Faison Love was like fucking sitting there talking to that 14-year-old, and then he whips off his goddamn shorts or whatever it was to reveal nut huggers, and she's like staring at his dick.
Yeah.
I'm like, who wrote this?
Definitely not okay. I forgot that Penny was there coaching as well. Yeah.
Like, it's fine that a 14-year-old's trying to teach. Like, I don't know, like a 14-year-old probably knows how to surf better than I do, so like I'm fine with that. Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like she's like staring at his junk.
Yeah, there's a very big problem when he rips off it to reveal that he's wearing the fucking Todd banana hammock. and like nobody's like, dude, she's 14. Read the room.
Yeah, no one.
Nobody says anything. Yeah, you're right. That's real fucked up. I didn't even think about that.
Oh my god, it was all I could think of. I'm like, wait, she's what? So like, they really do a piss poor job not sexualizing a minor in this movie. Oh, by the by, the only time you see the 14-year-old, she's always in a bikini, only ever.
True.
This movie's gross.
No, you're not wrong.
This movie's so gross.
One, she's always in a bikini. Two, she doesn't own like any fucking clothes because apparently she gets out of the car when they drop her off at school and they have to remind her to turn around and take her fucking sandals.
Yep.
So she shows up to pick up how much she's owed, and Matt, the quarterback, ends up giving her $1,000. He's like, well, I'm here for a week, might as well pay for the whole week. And then he gets a phone call and he's like, oh, I love you too, miss you, blah blah blah, talking to someone. He hears him say, hey honey. She hears him say, hey honey, and she immediately is like, oh, so I'm just the fun that you have when your wife's not here. And he's like, that's not my wife, it's my niece, dummy. Which is what that whole scene could have just been avoided.
It would have been even better if he had just said, it's my daughter, I had her when I was in college, I don't have a wife. Because at least it would be like, he's not completely weirded out by chicks. And even at one point, they're at this real private location, and she's like, so tell me about you. He's like, well, I got like 4 sisters, and she goes, well, that's explain it. You're not intimidated around strong women.
Oh, okay, that makes no sense, but sure, let's go on there.
And he's like, no, I'm always afraid of women because my sisters abused me. And she laughs.
Your sisters abused you, broke your fingers. That's so funny.
He literally says that his sisters beat the fuck out of him.
Well, not just that. They deformed him, and she thought it was funny. This movie's fucked in the head.
This movie
fucked
sucks.
in the head. And then there's a scene where they're like, oh, hey, this guy was, flirted with a Denny's waitress. And she's like, is that what I am, the Denny's waitress? And he goes, I can explain that. And she goes, no, I don't want to. You just tell me what to do. And I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, my God.
What?
We'll get there. We'll get there. We got like 13 minutes. We'll get there.
What?
All right. So where am I? All right. So she stays over and they sleep together. She wakes up in the morning and orders all this great food. She
tells her friends also to take care of her sister.
Yeah, she wakes up in the morning, immediately calls home, and she's like, hey Lena, it's me. Blah blah blah. Stayed over. Make sure that Penny gets to school on time. Make sure blah 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 blah. Whatever. And then she just orders a full fucking continental breakfast.
To be fair, he said run up the bill as much as you want. He left a note.
I know.
To be fair, yeah. So like that doesn't irritate me at all. If they give you a perk, embrace the perk.
Right. The shitty part about it is that her best friends are at home taking care of her sister and eating like fucking mayonnaise sandwiches.
They're eating candy bars because that's all they can afford.
Right. Exactly. Like literally 2 days ago. Not even 2 days ago. Like
the morning. Yeah. The morning before.
The morning before they were eating. They're eating breakfast at a gas station.
Yep.
So that they could barely fucking pay for because they didn't have any money. So it's just kind of a fucked juxtaposition of where they were versus where she is now. They come and like
when you can fuck that good, you can live the high life apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Apparently Kate Bosworth is throwing around this fucking 5-star. So yeah, I like there's just a whole bunch of bullshit like in between. Like she goes swimming in the pool, she eats the fucking blueberry waffles, and then there's like a bunch of nothing until she's like okay, he's done with practice, we're gonna go surfing again. Oh, and then Eden's like, hey, I'm gonna take some of the money that they gave us, here's this $1,000, I'm gonna take some of the money that he gave us, and I'm gonna get a jet ski, and we're going to go out, and I'm going to pull you through some waves just so you can get used to it again. She's like, all right, cool, I'll be there. No problem. Then she goes surfing with Matt in the North Shore, and they're just talking, and that's when they talk about the fucking sister thing and everything like that. So then a bunch of locals show up, the dickheads from the beginning of the movie, and they're like, locals only.
No,
blah,
no,
blah, blah.
no. They're O-Town.
Is it O-Town?
No. But when I saw them, I thought to myself, not O-Town. Who the fuck were they? The Butterfly Band. Crazy Town. I saw them like, oh my god, is Crazy Town doing a cameo in this fucking movie?
What song you talking? Come, my lady, come, my lady.
Yeah.
Be my butterfly.
I literally thought the lead singer of that was goddamn Seth Binzer. I thought he was in this fucking movie, and I was like, oh my god, this movie got so much worse.
You said O-Town, and I didn't even question it because I was like, these dudes do look like O-Town. All or nothing at all.
O-Town, yes.
Dude, O-Town ruled. That song was great. Oh man, so they get into a fight with Matt because they're a bunch of assholes and they're a bunch of pedophiles.
Yep. They're straight up groping this chick the entire movie, by the way.
Yeah, like at least 22, 23-year-old dude at the bare minimum is what I'll give him. With his arm at a party, just his hands and his arms all around a 14-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
We have a serious problem here.
It's not good.
So then Anne-Marie doesn't show up until super late to work with the jet ski, and Eden and her get into some arguments about how pointing out that Anne-Marie's current interest in Matt has weakened her commitment to training for the pipeline contest. Oh, yeah, we forgot to mention that. The Masters pipeline is coming up in like 3 days or something. And she's been training for a comeback this entire time. She's doing a fucking shit job of it.
Well, they're doing a shit job even talking about this because we don't find out until... I guess when we're in the water, like the second time, that the competition's so goddamn fierce that like you don't get hurt on these waves, you die. And I laughed so hard because like the waves aren't that big. I'm just like, whatever.
What a joke. So yeah, she goes to a like a luau thing at the resort with Matt. He buys her this super fancy dress and these heels and gets her all gussied up. So they're at the luau. Everybody's having a great time. She goes to the bathroom. And then, of course, the fucking most cliche scene in all of cinematic history, the wives of the other pro bowlers walk in, and they're all bitches and stuck up.
They're gold diggers. Like even one's like, it's 1.5 carats. I swear to God. And she's like, well, I get to do a little kiss, and I could probably upgrade it. Like, oh my God, I hate people.
Yeah, they suck.
And they immediately just drop the fucking asteroid now. Like we're good,
dude. Without hesitation, it's not even like 3 comments of like, oh, she seems nice or she might be a little better than the rest. It is immediately just. Tolman, the Matt Tolman special. Remember the Denny's waitress? Did she really think that he cares about her?
What was the line? He just likes to slum it.
Tolman. He loves to slum it.
Oh.
They mentioned something about like her heels or something like that. He's like, do you see the heels that he? Yeah. So she walks out of the stall and hands the heels to the. God, this next scene. I just thought about the next scene after this. She hands the heels and she's like, here, you can have him since you like him so much. So she walks out back to the beach for the luau's and then just keeps walking and keeps walking and keeps walking and then just walks right into the ocean.
Yup.
Tolman sees this and follows her and he's like, Anne-Marie, talk to me, Anne-Marie. And he follows her out to the ocean. She goes under. He goes under. And then she comes back up. She's like, I can't even remember what she says because I'm just so baffled. Like, what was she going to do? Drown herself?
So it was kind of an exchange of like, what are we doing? And she goes, I don't know. What are we doing? And he's like, what? And she's like, what about the Denny's wages? And he's like, I can explain. She goes, I don't want to explain. And then she starts ranting and raving. And then she's like, and then you go to this competition with the big pipeline. You don't just fall, you die. I don't know what to do. You tell me what to do.
That's the craziest part of this whole movie. To anybody who's never seen this movie, this is the craziest part. She literally refuses to make a decision about the future of her life the entire movie. And then in a movie about women's empowerment, instead of just deciding that she's going to take her life into her own hands, she straight up just asks this dude what to do with her life.
No, she doesn't ask. She tells him to tell her what to do. Because it's one thing, it's like, what do you think I should do? She doesn't do that. She goes, tell me what to do. She wants no say in this if it fails. And like it would make more sense if we weren't in the middle of the ocean bobbing while you're in a $1,000 dress.
It's so stupid.
It's the most just asinine thing ever. Like, holy shit.
Also,
but then the line is, I want you to be that girl I met on the beach that day. And she goes, and who was that? The line, it's even worse. It's the kind of girl that doesn't ask a guy what to do.
Oh my god. Oh my god, let's finish this. I can't do this anymore. We have to finish this.
I think the writer of this film was actually the one who drowned for a few minutes because she's clearly brain dead.
Dude, this just thinking about this film is giving me heartburn.
I already have heartburn and it's just making it worse.
So
here's the last 30 minutes. A surfing competition with the same 3 shots. Whoa. Oh, she falls. Oh, no. Well, one time I got hit so hard by Warren Sapp, I didn't want to go back into the game. Are you saying I'm faking it? I'm going to be glad to go back to Minnesota when we're done.
Dude, oh my god, like,
it was bad.
The best part about the last 30 minutes of this movie is the shots of the green room. For anybody who doesn't know what a green room is, the only reason I know what a green room is because of One Piece. The green room is the inside of a wave that is barreling.
Mm-hmm.
So when you can see through a wave that is completely closed as the wave is coming over, that is called the green room because the way the light reflects through the water. And those shots are fucking fantastic.
Yeah. Except for the shot at the end where she comes out of the green room and it's CGI'd to hell and you know that she did not even get on the surfboard the entire movie.
Yeah.
That was funny. So Crazy Town shows up in the middle of this competition and they walk up to Quarterback Boy and they're like, we told that girl we know you. Yeah, who they beat up, by the way. And they're like, we told that girl we know you. You're like some kind of hockey player, right? And he's just like, what? And then they start posing with him, and I'm like, what? 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 What is this thing? So she loses and gets a sponsorship.
Yeah, so she faces literally some of the best women surfers in the world. So in the first heat, she faces pro surfer Kate Scarrett.
And Scarrett breaks her back. Literally.
Yeah.
She fucks up.
Yeah. Anne-Marie wipes out during her first heat. She narrowly beats Kate Scarrett literally on a fucking... just because she's out.
Yeah.
She's hurt. She wipes out. She can't continue. She's shaken. This is how it's written on Wikipedia. She is shaken, but Matt tells her how he failed in his first game as an NFL quarterback, and this helps her get control of her wavering confidence.
Well, Wikipedia, you lied, because Matt tells her a story about being sacked by Warren Sapp, and she accuses him of accusing her of faking her injury. No. This chick gaslights everyone she knows. She's a bad person.
She sucks. So the next line in the Wikipedia description is also great. Determined, although still apprehensive, Anne-Marie returns to the water, competing in the same heat as Keala Kennelly, one of the first professional female surfers. All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. So you're meaning to tell me that she's
O-Town is here and we're about to glisten.
You're about to tell me that she's about to go head-to-head against one of the first professional female surfers who literally was responsible for breaking through, for breaking in, like getting through so women could surf professionally, and she stands a chance.
No, she doesn't because she lost.
Yeah. So literally,
so
I'm
so
just
hang
gonna.
on. I need to point this out. We can go a little bit over. When they're swimming out there, the announcer's like, "Oh, we have a race to the waves. The Kiana looks so intense. It looks like it's gonna be a battle." 28 seconds later, they both finish, and Kiana's like, "Yay, you did it, girlfriend!" And I'm like, "What? What? Why were you so angry then?"
Yep.
It makes no. The emotional reactions of the people in this movie aren't even fake. They're implausible.
Yeah.
What?
Oh my god, dude!
I think I just had my third aneurysm watching this movie. What? Makes no fucking sense.
Where did I leave off on this? I'm just gonna read this last.
So Billabong shows up and like, "You lost. Do you want a job?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then everyone,
Yeah.
And then for some reason they're even putting it in the movie. Does she even know she lost? Did she? Yes, she did. She came in second. That's not first. Ask Ray Gillette. It's a fucking loss.
Yeah,
I
not even
came
gonna
in
ride
third.
this fucking
That's
wave.
bronze. But it was amazing.
Yeah, she's not even gonna ride this fucking wave until Kiala Kennelly is like, "Hey, come with me. I got you. No problem." So she takes the best wave of the day, rides it perfectly for whatever fucking reason. She hasn't ridden a single wave perfectly up until this point.
In the entire movie.
In the entire fucking movie, manages to score a 10. She doesn't advance to the next heat, but Billabong comes up like, "We'd like you to join our women's surf team," and then that's it.
She's the first ever female surfer on a magazine, which was something she wanted. She wants her mom to come back from Vegas. She wants her sister to stop doing drugs. That doesn't seem like that hard of a thing. She's 14. Handcuff her to her bed. I want my mom to come back from Vegas. I want to be on the. I want there to be a woman on the cover of a surf magazine that no one's ever read before in their entire lives. And it doesn't even need to be me, although that would be awesome. But it would just be awesome if it was a woman on the cover of the magazine. And I'm just like, I need to not watch this movie ever again. And anyone who tells me Blue Crush is their favorite movie, I'm going to push into a volcano.
I want an NFL quarterback to tell me what I want.
No, you want an NFL quarterback to put a baby in you. Let's be honest about that one.
Dude, this sucks.
So if we want to watch a real women's empowerment movie that features around sports, do you know the best one? And it's not even like a tongue-in-cheek, like I'm being funny about it. There's legitimately a great female empowerment movie.
Never Back Down.
You can't say that to me because every time you say that, I just want to go, never back down. Come on. Stick it.
There wasn't a single. What's that actor's name?
Digimon Jesus. I don't know if that's how you pronounce
Digimon
it, but that's how I pronounce it.
Yeah, he's the only man in that movie.
Yeah, everyone else is just smooth little children. Stick It, starring Missy Peregrine.
Oh yeah, Stick It's fucking great.
Yeah, it's good.
Here's how good Stick It is. I saw Stick It in theaters.
Here's how good Stick It is. That movie came out when I was in college and very insecure, and I still liked it. I was like, this is good.
That movie's so
It's
good.
a bunch of chicks kicking ass. It's good.
That movie's fucking great. Plus, it's got Missy Peregrine in it.
Yeah, and let's see, Vanessa Lenges, whatever her name is.
Oh yeah, Vanessa Lenges is in that movie.
Yes, she is.
Isn't she in Waiting as well?
Yeah, she is. She plays the 17-year-old that Ryan Reynolds is too scared to bang, but really wants to.
Oh man, for as garbage as that movie is, that movie's still pretty funny.
Waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like that movie. That movie is not like you cannot. No, that movie would never be made today.
everything that happened in that movie is literally condemned today.
And not just even condemned in real life, but in portrayals.
In portrayals in movies, yeah. So on a scale of 1 to whatever your scaling is, what do you give this movie?
Well, on a scale from, let's say, Tom Hardy in any movie where he has to be 280 pounds or higher. Peak.
Okay.
That's the best, by the by. Batman.
Yeah.
A warrior. Fantastic. To Tom Hardy in Star Trek Nemesis.
Ooh.
Yeah, we went there. I'm going to give this from Justin to Kelly +5.
Jesus Christ.
It's not as bad.
Damn, we should watch From Justin to Kelly.
You shut your whore mouth. I will drive 2 hours to Columbus and I will smack you.
So for me, Blue Crush, I give on a scale of 1 to 5, Kate Bosworth's upper butt crack, I give this a 0.
Oh no! Which is also what I would give Kate Bosworth's upper butt crack. If you're gonna give me half a butt crack, you better just give me all of the butt crack. Otherwise,
you
don't
could
even
have just
toy.
shown us. You could have just shown us. Like, I would have given this movie a 1 if you had just shown me Kate Bosworth's full butt.
I would have given it Inception, which is like a solid 4 for me. If I had just gotten all of Kate Bosworth's butt. Like I'm not even asking for anything salacious. Like, you already gave me whatever it would take to be kicked off cable TV. You might as well just go to like the 3.5 extra inches. Like, that's like showing someone's testicles but not their dick. It's like,
is it telling me what this movie was rated?
Probably PG-13.
It had to be PG-13.
Yeah, there was an exposed butt. Like, I'm not even being funny. Like,
Yeah.
anytime there's like an exposed butt, like, that's PG-13.
Let me go to its IMDb. It'll tell me.
I'm just gonna Google it. Even though I hate Google. PG-13.
Hold on.
So romance sports.
Yeah, it comes right up. PG-13. You could have just given me full butt.
You could even given us boob. Like side boob.
I would have taken any of the 3 main girls.
Yeah.
Literally. Like,
well, I would have taken 2. Mostly I would have gone with Sonoa Lake because she's gorgeous. She got the smile that makes me go wild. And I don't need to listen to her bitch about how her little sister that she's completely not even a present for is completely fucking up because she's not present for her. Gee, I wonder why she's lashing out for attention. I'm fucking shocked.
The most offensive thing about this movie is that they got a Mexican woman to portray a native Hawaiian.
The most offensive thing about this movie is that you set up a 14-year-old addict, a romance, and a missing mother that has no resolution.
Yeah, they really don't do anything. And then Blue Crush 2 has nothing to do with the first.
Yep. Like, literally, like, we don't know what happens to the mom. We don't know what happens to the 14-year-old. We don't know what happens to this relationship. All we know is she's the first female surfer on a magazine. Terrible movie.
Oh, my God.
Did you ever like this movie? Is that one of the reasons why we did it?
No, never liked this movie. Just I had seen it maybe once before this, and I remember like it just being like a summer movie.
I thought this was a movie you liked. That's why I agreed to it.
No, I don't like this movie at all. It's okay. It's not like we're gonna be watching movies that we really give a shit about.
They can at least try to resolve a plot point. That's all. Like, I'm not even asking for like. We got introduced to her phobia through an opening montage, and it wasn't addressed again until an hour into the film, and then it's the big finale. This movie sucked so hard.
So
nothing got resolved. There was no character growth. Oh.
So yeah, that was the first one of our Schmear on the Shore podcast. I know we're also going to be doing a Hallmark original. Love at the Shore?
Yes.
And then 2 more summer movies that
Blue
we
Crush
will
2.
also. Are we doing Blue Crush 2?
Well, if you can give me 2 better options, sure, we can avoid it. But Blue Crush 2.
I'm sure.
Stick It came out in April, which is spring, which is kind of like summer.
I don't know. I can find some fucking other summer movies, maybe.
Well, if you can't, Stick It. It was kind of a summer movie. Came out in a season adjacent to summer movies.
Doesn't the movie take place during summer though?
I think it does.
Because it's like it takes place right after whatever year she's finishing in high school.
Right, because she's a junior who's graduating early because she's like, I don't know. I fucking haven't seen this movie in a while.
And she gets in trouble, so she was either supposed to go to this summer boot camp or this gymnastics camp. We're watching Stick It. Dude,
We're gonna make it a we're gonna make it an honorary summer movie. I think there was a scene where they go to the beach. Like it's like a lake beach, but I clearly remember the girls being in swimsuits at one point because I think like I think what's her name Vanessa Lenges was like very timid and she had like this like really super conservative bathing suit on, which didn't make any sense at all because of how confident she is. But whatever. So, I mean, we can. I'm going to watch it regardless, and I'll let you know if it's summery enough.
Okay.
But if you can come up with 2 other better summer movies, I will consider them.
I mean, the only other movie, I searched summer movies on Google, and the first movie that came up was The Way, Way Back.
See, we can't review that because it's too good.
It's actually good. Exactly.
So
trying to fucking Blue Crush, get the fuck out of here. It's all like old fucking movies.
I think there was one with who is it? Amy Adams. She did like a spoof on like the 60s summer movies.
We could watch My Summer of Love.
Is that a Hallmark movie?
It came out in 2004. It has Emily Blunt and Natalie Press. When upper-class Tamsin meets working-class Mona, they are immediately drawn to each other. Although coming from different worlds, the two find common ground in their dysfunctional family lives. To seal their friendship, Mona introduces Tamsin to her born-again Christian brother, and Mona helps Tamsin spy on her adulterous father. Bound together by their secrets, Tamsin and Mona see their friendship deepen and enter into dangerous waters. What?
I'm intrigued. I will not lie.
It has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What is this called?
My Summer of Love. It came out in 2004. Summer of Love is a 2004 drama romance. It was rated R.
Well, I think the other movie we should consider is Psycho Beach Party with Amy Adams.
Like a shitty slasher.
It's a comedy horror, yeah. Based
Comedy
off the
horror?
off-Broadway play of the same name. It stars Lauren Ambrose, Thomas Gibson, Amy Adams, Nicholas Brandon, and Matt Kessler. I'm gonna watch these 3 films before I pick. We'll do Summer Beach House next week, or Summer on the Shore, whatever it's fucking called.
Love at the Shore?
Yeah, that one. They're all the same goddamn title.
We'll do that one for sure, and then the last 2...
we'll decide next week, but I'm going to watch these 3 films and maybe keep looking for others.
Okay, yeah, I will make sure to watch... I'm definitely watching Stick It just because I want to watch it.
Yeah, it's good. Music in that is tight, too. Oh, my God.
I will watch My Summer of Love as well and let you know.
Okay. Then I'll watch Psycho Beach Party and Stick It as well.
Okay,
it seems like Stick It's probably going to make the list regardless.
We're going to watch Stick It, and then...
Stick It's going to be on...
watch one more.
We're gonna add Stick It to some lists at some point in the next 3 months. It's going to happen. It may not
be a good movie.
It may not be for summer, but it'll happen eventually.
Yeah.
So rundown, realnerdcorp.com. Just go there. That's the only thing you need to go to. It's got all the podcasts. It's got all the links. It's got all the links to all the other websites. realnerdcorp.com. Twitter, NERDCORP. Instagram, realnerdcorp. Swish, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at x2000gregs, x2000gregs. You can find me on Instagram at 2000gregs, 2000gregs. Chad, where can they find your personal stuff?
You can find me on Twitter at Chad NerdCorp, ChadNerdCorp, and on Instagram at Chad's Photo Hut. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us for the inaugural edition of the Schmear on the Shore podcast. We will be back next week as we take on the Hallmark original Love at the Shore. And then throughout the rest of August, we will also be giving you 2 more summer movies. For Chad Bordeaux, I'm Alex Swisher. Thank you all for listening. Goodbye, good night, and as we always say, Schmear.